Welcome to the presidential talk with myself, BJ Langa, the president of EcoForum. We are blessed to be here tonight as we will be revealing matters of secrecy. And I believe that once South Africa knows the truth shall set us free. For we have a mandate of bringing South Africa where they belong, to God, to the origin of all things and adage. Now, Friends and families, South Africans, and everybody in the world who's watching tonight, I'm not alone. We're blessed tonight to have in the studio Dr. M.A. Mafura. Say, how do you do, say? We are blessed. You are welcome once more to grace our studios again. Now, Dr. Mafura is one of those men that are appointed in these times that we are in. He's a man that will be standing for premiership in Gauteng. And I believe that he's got a load of, meaning maxim and moreover plans, word, reasoning, and plan that we have, which in closure is what we call logos. So in this season, we believe that politics are taking, meaning another, there's going to be a paradigm shift. So now there's going to be what you call an inception of reformation. From all times of revolution and evolution, we believe that the nation of South Africa has come to a time of total reformation. So tonight, I want us to talk about something very sensitive, which is what you call food. It's food security. One of the major things which I believe that as the government of EcoForum, we want to put our focus in so that we can bring understanding on some of the discrepancies that have taken place in the past, and also to showcase some of the political ignorances and also professionalism which is also imparted with ignorance. And we are so much bleeding in our hearts to come to you and also enter your homes and share this message with you. Now, when we talk food security, we talk food security in line with food in general, but also we are bringing forth agro-processing. Also, we'll be talking as we talk food technology, because we need to understand our crop. We need to have knowledge of our crop. We have the right to know of the things that are put in our food, because the results thereof, as we all know, today you could see that now, in the past we had our elders who actually were partaking from the same food that we are partaking today. But now the problem with what we have in terms of the crop that we receive is that the crop is been, I believe that it's been, somebody has actually worked on it in terms of making it more artificial with some artificial, insemination. So now I'm bringing you to this knowledge so that we can all understand that now the risk and also the insecurities and also meaning the health factors that are actually, that come up with this. And if we as South Africans will have to know today, I believe that most of us, it will aggrieve us, but we'll come to a solution, because as the government of EcoForum, we are prepared to come with a resolution, a paper, a white paper that will have such policies that will absolutely begin to dictate in how our food, whether they come from overseas, whether they are done in our nation. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying, because I need to bring one of those knowledges, as I will be just also giving a part for Dr. Mafura. Now, EcoForum as a government proclaims food as a human right, and also the value of organic style agriculture and the value of biodiversity to food security as an insurance policy, also to guarantee the food or the human food supply. Industrialized family agriculture, which is what we are actually championing, and we said that we need to embrace pastoralism for the provision of local markets and also urban markets, and also, as we spoke about, township, meaning food security. Now, the other meaning act that we are bringing on board in terms of us being active and becoming activists in this matter is for us to stand, and we want to, as the government of EcoForum, to fight against genetically modified crops. Now, all the GMCs that we have, which some of them are not even tested, and the result is what we know. We are talking today big chickens, big carrots. Today we are talking, when you look at how even our elders in the past, meaning had to leave. Their livelihood was better, even though they never had such a privilege of this democracy. But now look at us now today, where the technology is now given, everything is galore. But the problem is now, where are men, where are leaders that should come forward and come up with the truth? Beside leaders who actually wants to point at each other, attack one another. I believe that now there's going to be a shift in the political spectrum that will actually desire a leadership that will have to stand out and speak the truth. And I say, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Now, when we say, now we are standing against GMC or genetically modified crops, we mean that there are certain things, or there's an injection on our food. Our crops are taken from out of our nation into other nations. And let me tell you this now, when they come back from other nations, we don't even know what is on it. So now today, I brought professionals with myself in order to demystify this myth, because we cannot let another life actually die, or another life lose its life, because one loss of human family is a loss to South Africans. Now, come with me now, because I want to take it further, because we're going to also touch base in terms of regions and provinces, and I'm going to give Dr. Mafura to begin now to share with us his heart in how he's going to bring about change to what we call food security, to its insecurities that even ordinary South Africans might not even know what has hit them. The sicknesses that actually are in our bodies today, we don't even know how to tell. We collapse and we get into many sicknesses, but those sicknesses are muchly imparted on food. Why? Because he who controls food controls the economy. Now, Dr. Mafura, I am so thankful, sir, that you are in this studio tonight. Now, take us through, sir, because the only thing we need in our season is the truth. We're looking for leaders, not who just going to speak some script and, throw out things out there, but there are some relationships that have occurred, in the past that are causing us to be where we are today. Our children are growing bigger. South Africa is growing much bigger, much sickening. We are being diseased, but now the cause is not known, and we are being controlled by a group of people that have actually had it in their mind that this is what we want to do. Because I don't want to get there now, but I will touch it now in a while. So I want to hear your side of story regarding food security, sir.
Thank you very much. Greetings to the President, to all confidentials out there in South Africa, all South Africans, and to all humankind, to the elders, to the youth. Greetings tonight. Thank you very much, President.
Thank you, sir.
One of the things that I think tonight is very important to address from the point of the President is actually the challenges that are facing food security.
Okay.
Now, we came up with a strategic areas that we think they are the most worst, especially in this country, South Africa.
Yes.
Now, number one, we have, and it's only 5 that I'm going to touch. As we continue, we will be able to elaborate more. Number one, we have what we call inadequate safety net.
Okay.
In other words, poor households are characterized by few income earners.
All right.
And many dependents, many households are often primarily dependent on migrant remittance and social security grants, making them vulnerable to food security, insecurity. Now remember, I'm going to talk food insecurity, because in order for us to understand the healthy lifestyle of food that we need to consume, we need to understand also the other side of saying, what is it also that is causing this country for our marginalized poor people not being able to receive a proper lifestyle in food also, President. Now, that is one thing that we're going to touch on tonight. And the second one is the weak support network and disaster management system. Now, South Africa does not have a structured system on dealing with food security disasters, such as droughts and also floods. These disasters, which occur at regular intervals, can substantially threaten food security position in agriculture-based households. Now, one of the things that you must understand is many a times when we have such kind of disasters, we are not ready, we are not prepared. It takes time for our current government to actually facilitate system to make sure that it brings attention to these issues of floods and to these issues that we are actually putting on the table today, that our South African people also, one thing that also we must understand, we don't have a lot of money to those people that are living in our environment, in our houses, and they only depend on social grants, which is not enough to give them life. I'm about to elaborate that, I'm just putting them in points. Now, number 3, inadequate and unstable household food production. Now, hunger in this country and malnutrition in South Africa stem from insufficient, unstable food supplies. Now, at the household of intra-household level, the majority of producers in the former homelands are unable to feed their families from their narrow production base. In other words, they depend from government to actually to assist them. So if you look at our homeland state people who are actually trying to crop, who are trying to produce, are not able to produce enough food to look after themselves because of lack of resources for them in those areas. And the other one is lack of purchasing power. Now, the majority of South Africans households, most of them lack cash to purchase food. Now,
is that, are we talking good food? Because what I'm hearing is that the problem we have in terms of our the microeconomy, or meaning the household income, is that people will settle for less and also not knowing where to get, or because of those of the food that is good food, which is organic food. It's a bit expensive. So now is now the doctor saying to us that that is one of the the reasons why we find ourselves there. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, going forward, is we need to look at it also in rural communities. That we must make sure that they've got also income opportunities there to enable them to actually to go to agricultural sector and bring food for themselves, not food that is organic. Now that's genetic. Now the other point is food nutritional status in this country.
That's right.
Now, one thing that I can tell you now, President, is one child in 4 under age of 6 years, transiting to approximately 1.5 million. Is stunned due to chronic malnutrition. Now, we discovered that it's something that even our current government and also in Parliament, they've tried to see, to elaborate the right to safe and nutritional food at all times. But now, this challenge in South Africa continues to actually not be realized and be sustained, to make sure that food security is also being taken care of, especially in terms of the diseases that comes when people lack food to eat. Proper food to eat. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, coming from that angle, where I'm sitting here in a level of Gauteng, which is where now this wonderful political party, Eco Forum, has actually deployed me to look into, I'm more interested tonight to actually elaborate more in terms of Gauteng challenges, especially in Johannesburg. Johannesburg is one of the economic hub of South Africa. And it's one of the regions in the whole South African regions that is big. Now, we know it's located in Gauteng, and the city is located in Gauteng, both industrial and commercial heartland of this country. Now, let me let you know this, that Gauteng is the source of 33% of South African gross domestic income, and 50% of all employee remuneration in the country. In other words, out of African countries, we are the largest economy on its own single South African.
Okay.
You know, the whole cities. Now, also let me bring it to you to understand that not only that, if you can check the statistics, since from 2015, we had a population that was about 14 million inhabitants in this beautiful province that we're into. And now, out of all urban areas, we are making the world biggest population.
That's right.
Now, allow me to say this. This region comprises of 3 metropolitan, and which is Gauteng, Ekurhuleni, and Tshwane. Now, it is also the biggest, 40th largest, you know, city in the world. And today, we are called global cities. Now, in other words, alone in South Africa, which I want to let you know that our GDP and is sitting on 40% with economical activities.
Okay.
Now, also another thing that I want to put it clear to the whole residents of Johannesburg is the most human development, and the scoring of it is sitting on 0.7%.
Okay.
And it's also the highest in Southern Africa. Now, allow me to say this quickly, as I want to take you somewhere, that we are the biggest metropolitan area and estimated with over 7 million people.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the economic growth and also the prosperity mass complex underlying socio-economic inequalities and cultural tension and unequal access to land, housing, and basic services, it's a fundamental legacy also to Johannesburg history. Now, allow me to say this, that also the current settlement and land nature patterns, as well as grossly inadequate housing, were shaped by implementation of policies of racial segregation. Let me put it like this.
Yeah.
For instance, just to get in there, we know that, you know, a city like Johannesburg, where it is at the moment, it has townships like Alexander. You've got townships that are like a township like Alexander that is actually at this moment is the most informal settlement, where we realize as South Africans that it was marginalized and segregated because of apartheid system that went there. So that's why now we have a very big food shortages around area of Alexander. I'll give an example. For instance,
let me interject, Doctor,
yes,
because I think we need to do this. I just want us to take a short break because we really need to get down to this matters.
Okay.
And I want us to actually dwell muchly on, you know, getting those discrepancies that I've actually also outlined. Because I want South Africa tonight, I need South Africa to know, and the world to know the truth, because politics have been like rhetoric, you're speaking behind words. So we want them, even beside knowing just the numbers, we want them to know this truth that we are coming with now. Now, as you're watching there, we're coming back now, just going to take a short break and drink water, have coffee there, and I believe that will be fed with knowledge and also the truth. And I said that the truth shall be known, but the truth shall set you free. Thank you. It's not easy to talk. I'm not sure how to